Coordinates: 11 degrees north 10 degrees west, 11 degrees north 10 degrees west, 11-10 in Africa. Officially the Republic of Guinea. The sovereign state of Guinea is a republic with a president who is directly elected by the people. This position is both head of state and head of government. The unicameral Guinea National Assembly is the legislative body of the country, and its members are also directly elected by the people. The judicial branch is led by the Guinea Supreme Court, the highest and final court of appeal in the country. Guinea is a predominantly Islamic country, with Muslims representing 85% of the population. Guinea's people belong to 24 ethnic groups. French, the official language of Guinea, is the main language of communication in schools, in government administration, and the media, but more than 24 indigenous languages are also spoken. Guinea's economy is largely dependent on agriculture and mineral production. It is the world's second largest producer of bauxite, and has rich deposits of diamonds and gold. The country was at the core of the 2014 Ebola outbreak. Human rights in Guinea remain a controversial issue. In 2011, the United States government claimed that torture by security forces and abuse of women and children were ongoing abuses of human rights. Guinea is named after the Guinea region. Guinea is a traditional name for the region of Africa that lies along the Gulf of Guinea. It stretches north through the forested tropical regions and ends at the Sahel. The English term Guinea comes directly from the Portuguese word Guiné, which emerged in the mid-15th century to refer to the lands inhabited by the Guineas, a generic term for the black African peoples south of the Senegal River. In contrast to the Tawny Zenaga Berbers above it, whom they called Azenegs or Moors. The land that is now Guinea belonged to a series of African empires until France colonized it in the 1890s, and made it part of French West Africa. Guinea declared its independence from France on the 2nd of October 1958. From independence until the presidential election of 2010, Guinea was governed by a number of autocratic rulers. For the origin of the name, Guinea, see Guinea section etymology. What is now Guinea was on the fringes of the major West African empire. The earliest, the Ghana Empire, grew on trade but ultimately fell after repeated incursions of the Almoravids. It was in this period that Islam first arrived in the region by way of North African traders. The Soso Empire briefly flourished in the resulting void, but the Mali Empire came to prominence when Soundata Keita defeated the Soso ruler Somangoro Kante at the Battle of Kirina in c. 1235. The Mali Empire was ruled by Mansa, the most notable being Kanko Mossa, who made a famous Hajj to Makkah in 1324. Shortly after his reign, the Mali Empire began to decline and was ultimately supplanted by its vassal states in the 15th century. The most successful of these was the Songhi Empire, which expanded its power from about 1460 and eventually surpassed the Mali Empire in both territory and wealth. It continued to prosper until a civil war over succession followed the death of Askia Daud in 1582. The weakened empire fell to invaders from Morocco at the Battle of Tondibi. Just 3 years later, the Moroccans proved unable to rule the kingdom effectively, however, and it split into many small kingdoms after the fall of the major West African empire. Various kingdoms existed in what is now Guinea. Fulani Muslims migrated to Fouta Djallon in central Guinea, and established an Islamic state from 1727 to 1896. With a written constitution and alternate rulers. The Vassalou or Wazilu Empire was short-lived, led by Samori Touré in the predominantly Malink area of what is now Upper Guinea and southwestern Mali. It moved to Ivory Coast before being conquered by the French. The European traders arrived in the 16th century. Slaves were exported to work elsewhere in the triangular trade. The traders used the regional slave practices that had existed for centuries of trading in human beings. Guinea's colonial period began with French military penetration into the area in the mid-19th century. French domination was assured by the defeat in 1898 of the armies of Samori Touré, Mansur of the Ouassalou state and leader of Malink descent. which gave France control of what today is Guinea and adjacent areas. France negotiated Guinea's present boundaries in the late 19th and early 20th centuries with the British for Sierra Leone, the Portuguese for their Guinea colony, and Liberia. Under the French, the country formed the territory of Guinea within French West Africa, administered by a governor-general resident in Dakar. Lieutenant governors administered the individual colonies, including Guinea. In 1958, the French Fourth Republic collapsed due to political instability and its failures in dealing with its colonies, especially Indochina and Algeria. The founding of a Fifth Republic